Hey, Shalom Markim, this is Rakam Makapash from Jimas London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachodash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, who taught us his truth, right? And honors out there to the brothers on the highways and byways teaching his truth in all sincerity. Back in another video, and if you've seen my previous video, I was going into how Esau's destroying um, you know uh, the fertility in men around the world with these glyphosates, right? But at the end of the video, I made a statement about what you see on the screen, right? It's a sperm, okay, which is a seed, okay? And this seed is alive. The sperm is alive, right? And this is in fact, the thing that women give birth to, right? The life is in the seed of the man. Okay, the child is of the seed of the man, right? Okay, not of the woman. Okay, the woman, gives birth to, the child. Right, gives birth to the seed that grows inside her. It's this thing, this sperm, this seed that grows inside her, man. Right? Women don't have seed. Right? They have eggs, right, which nourish, okay, the sperm and help it to grow. Modern science or school or whatever will have you believe that the man and woman, because they exchange DNA codes and all that kind of stuff, and that they play an equal part in the creation of life, and that's not really true, right? Because the sperm was already alive before it got to the woman, right? The man has a sperm in his ball sacks, man, in his ball sack, right? Hundreds of thousands of them, millions even, of these living things. Okay, the egg is a dormant thing, right? It's not alive. It's nourishment. It's food. Okay, and we make this analogy many times before. How the woman is the earth. Okay, and the sperm is the man provides the seed, right? Who puts it in the earth. Can the earth grows that seed, whatever type of seed that may be? That's what the earth will grow. The earth doesn't change the type of seed it is, right? If you plant an apple seed, you're gonna get an apple tree, right? And so on and so forth. It doesn't matter where you plant that seed. It doesn't matter what type of soil it is. Now you're gonna get variations. You might put an apple seed or orange seed or whatever, in different locations on the earth, and it might come out slightly different depending on the nutrients in that earth, right? But it's still gonna be an apple tree, or it's still gonna be an orange tree. Whatever the case may be, it's not going to change. It's not going to become something different, right? Because the seed is the seed. It is the origin point, right? It can only grow. It can only be what it is, right? And this is how we break break down lineage, break down ancestry down, right? Because it comes from the man, right? And that's clearly stated in the scriptures. You get in small hats today. Again, they're doing some bullshit, some lies, right? Talk about, oh, you're a JOO based on your mother. If your mother's a JOO, where in the scriptures that? That's not in the scriptures. Okay, as we're about to have a go into. Okay, it's all about the man. Okay, where the man's from. Okay, who is the man? What nation is he from? That is the seed. He's carrying his father's seed, that nation's seed, right? and whoever, whatever woman is impregnated by him is gonna produce, that man's seed, that man's nation. Okay, it's facts. That's what it is. Okay, a woman doesn't play a part in the identity of the child. It's race. Okay, they don't play a part in that. Okay, because they don't carry the seed. You don't get to change, decide what the seed is. Oh, I want it to be an orange, or I want it to be a fucking pear. You don't alter what that seed is. Okay, it's always going to be of the man. All right. And so, just gonna get into a few scriptures, right? And I wanted to open up with, pardon me, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Chapter 7, verse 1. And it says here, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, right? So we can all acknowledge, that we all come from our mothers. When we get pushed out, we come out from our mothers, right? But she is not the starting point of our journey, right? She is a what's the word I'm looking for? A pit stop, right? Before you come out into the world, man. Okay, you was a little sperm. We were all little sperms, right? The lucky ones that made it, right? And we grew. Okay, we grew inside our mothers, man. Right? We can all acknowledge that, right? But women receive so much glory in this day and age, for bearing children, right? And giving them too much, for lack of a better word, power, like, and influence in that, for lack of a better word, right? When it's the man's seed that you've given birth to, right? That child is of the father. That's why the child inherits his name, right? Um, he inherits his name, right? And then the inheritance, he gets it because of his name, because he's, that's how it is, right? So being compacted in blood of the seed of man, okay, again, the seed is of the man, right? And the pleasure that came with sleep, okay? So, like I said, we know this much from biology, from what we learned in the school, right? The man have a sperm, and the women have eggs, and they cycle around, right? And it that's what I'm looking for. And the sperm impregnates that egg, okay, penetrates it, right? And like I said, it's a food source for that sperm to grow, right? Women don't create life, okay? You merely nurture it, right? You got those fucking black conscious or unconscious fanatics, man, that believe that the woman is God. Woman creates life. She's the life giver. No, that's not the role she plays. That's not what she's doing. Right? Yes, you need two two to tango, right? Yeah, you need two. You need the father and the mother to produce a child. It's true, you do. But life, no. Most High had granted life, right? And gave us seed, gave man seed to spread, right? Gave man seed to spread, okay, to reproduce, to multiply, right? And it's the same thing at the beginning, right? With everything else, okay? If you go to Genesis 1 verse 11, it says, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit, right? It's like that old age question, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, the truth is they came together. A chicken came with, eggs, to reproduce, right? But it's the same here. the trees that were the Most High, or the angels, Yahushua planted, came with fruit, which had seeds, right? So that when they fell, the seeds would fall into the ground and grow again. And guess what? They're going to produce of its own kind. Okay, the apple trees are not going to produce orange trees or any other type of tree. Okay, it's always going to produce its own kind. It's the same with men's seed. It's only going to produce of his own kind, of his own lineage, right? It has nothing to do with the soil. It's not going to change the outcome of that seed. Okay, it might look a bit different, taste a bit different, but it's still going to be an apple tree or whatever. It's not going to change. Same with the woman. The woman does not dictate lineage. It doesn't dictate race. Right? They have no involvement in that whatsoever, and that's why it's never, especially when you go through the scriptures, it's never a woman's lineage that these the identity of races is never recorded that way. Right? It's really through the men. Okay. Reading verse 12 here, it says, we finished reading 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself. Okay, the seed is within us. Right? Life is within us. Okay? Whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. All right. This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. All right, it said, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees, okay, their ancestry, their race, their houses, right, after their families, by the house of their fathers, not their mothers. The mothers could have been anybody, and this is why the woman never, doesn't determine whether or not someone's an Israelite or not. The Israelites could have laid down with any woman and they still would have produced Israelites because they're of their seed. That's how it works. It's just like I mentioned about, you could plant the apple seed anywhere in the world, any type of soil. All it's going to produce is an apple seed after its kind. Okay? The earth can't change that. Okay, and yes, it's gonna take on some of the genetic codes, and we're gonna our facial features are gonna be somewhere in between, and you might get the mother's nose or the father's lips or whatever the case may be. You'll how you look is a combination of the two. But where you're from, where your origin is, where your lineage goes to, is through your fathers, man. Okay, there can only be one origin point, and that's something else I was looking into before I was doing the video. Is this word lineage? Because lineage comes from the word line, right? It's just a line, and there can only be one line, right? It can only go back to one origin point, right? There can't be two lines. The way the world acts like now, he's half of this, half of that, because the mother's from this place or whatever the case may be. That's all confusion, man. Because you can't add on another line. It's hella complicated. It doesn't make any sense. All these lines are your line. Now there's two lines, or now there's four lines, because obviously this woman comes from another man. she's a daughter of some other man. So there's another line. You go back through to this line now. You don't go back to that line. You don't descend from them people. You descend from your father. You don't descend from your mother's father. You had nothing to do with them. It's hella complicated. But I'm gonna get to that in a minute, right? So did I read this? I did, didn't I? Yeah. Let me read it again. So, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls, right? Because they would all be named after their forefathers, from what tribe they're from. right? Women's, women doesn't get involved here, like not at all. Okay, they have no bearing on this. Let me get these two out of the way. I should put that earlier. Leviticus 12 verse 2, and speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a woman conceived the seed, right, they take man's seed, or receive man's seed, right, and born a man child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation of her infirmity shall she be unclean. Okay, which is exactly the same thing that Mary did when she conceived Joseph's seed, right, when she bare the Lord, right, because it was his seed that she conceived, to, right, or with, right. She received Joseph's seed. It was no angel seed, because angels don't have seed, right? Angels also don't have lineage. There's no angels related to King David. All right, she received Joseph's seed because Joseph was the house of Judah. Okay, so she put herself away. She was unclean for 7 days, right, and plus, right. So a woman conceives seed. Okay, she doesn't produce seed. She doesn't, have seed or whatever. Right? She conceives seed. She receives seed from the man. Okay, she receives life from the man that she nurtures. Leviticus 15 and 16. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even. Right. So, like, just to point out, the man bears the seed. He bears the life. Okay. All right. This is Genesis chapter 5 verse 3. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness, right? Just like an apple tree would beget of its own kind, right? In his own likeness, right? Begat just means to bring forth, right? In fact, that's why I got this here. Oh, what the hell? That's why I had it there. Right. Right. The word begat, yalad. Okay. It says to bear, bring forth, begat, gender, travail. To bear, bring forth, of childbirth. Right. Obviously, we don't give birth to children. Okay, that's the woman's role. Get the Most High assigned to her, right? But we give her the seed to bring forth, right? It's even got here declared pedigree, right? Okay. And I say when you go to Matthews, I know someone's gonna say, well, Mary's line was mentioned too. Yeah, but her fathers were mentioned. Right? The women weren't mentioned. Right? But here Matthews, it tells you here the book of generation of Yahushua Mashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac. Isaac begat Jacob. Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. Judas begat Pharez and Zerah of Thamar. And Pharez begat Ursum, and Ursum begat Aram. So, and all you're going to read here is a bunch of men, right? This is the lineage of the Lord, right? There is no confusion, even though we know, for instance, that Ruth, okay, it says Salmon begat Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth. Well, Ruth was a Moabite, right? But Yahusha doesn't belong to no line of Moabite of Moab. You know, it's not a second line that Yahusha goes back to. Oh yeah, he's related to such and such because of Ruth. No, he's not related to them. not even a little bit. Right? Ruth was just the woman who bore, is it Boaz's seed? You know, that's all it is. That's all it is. Okay, and through that we got Jesse, and through Jesse we got David, King David. Right? That's what it is. Is Yahweh is an Israelite through and through, 100% Israelite. Okay, not 10 quarters this, 10 fifths this. Not these fucking stupid fractions that these men make up. Because it's impossible. It's so stupid. Okay, you are who your father is, man. Okay, it's very, very clear, very concise, right? It prevents all the confusion. Because otherwise, there would never be no nation. Everyone would be a first of his kind, first of his name, first of his kind. Unique. There would be no nations. It would be different all the damn time. But there's specific nations that the Most High have created, and so whatever children they have is going to be of that nation. Doesn't matter who the woman is. All right. Now, my battery is dying. Luke 2 and 4, it says this, right? And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, right? Joseph was of the tribe of Judah, okay, of the house and lineage of David. Now, I went to look up this word lineage. So we'll grab it in here, right? The word lineage here is patria. I'm sure that's how it's going to pronounce it. We'll see.
Strong's G 3965. Patria.
Okay.
Patria.
No, it ain't got the accent, but patria, right? So this is lineage running back to some progenitor ancestry. Right? So a lineage is a line. It's a line is straight, right? And it's singular. Okay, it goes back to an origin point. That's what that means, right? And it can only be one origin point. You can't have a whole bunch of fucking different origin points. Oh yeah, well he's half this, half that, and so he goes back to this one. He goes back to that one. It doesn't make any damn fucking sense, right? By definition, lineage can only go back to one point, right? It goes back to through a certain line, right? It can't be confused with adding women from different nations and whatever. That's just, how's that going to work? They have no common ancestry, so it can't go back to a single point in that case. Okay, but it has to. That's what lineage means, right? Running back to some progenitor ancestry, a nation or tribe, a group of families, all those who in a given people lay claim to a common origin, right? The Israelites, which distributed into 12 tribes, descended from the 12 sons of Jacob. These were divided into families, which were divided into houses, right? What could you say about Israel as a nation, a company of nations, man? We're all a nation by ourselves, but we will go back to Jacob, who goes back to Isaac, who goes back to Abraham, as the Lord, the Lord set up the promises that way through our forefathers, right? Family in a wider sense, nation, people, right? So if I go to the root word here, this is a derivative of root of, well, I'm going to see what it is. Pater, which is father, if I'm correct, And it says generator or male ancestor, not female. Not possible. Female don't have seed. See, right? Even the nearest ancestor, father, or the corporeal nature, natural fathers, right? Both parents, whatever, right? A more remote ancestor, the founder of a family or tribe, a progenitor of a people, forefather. So Abraham is called Jacob and David, right? Fathers, i.e. ancestors, forefathers, founders of nations. Men are founders of nations. Okay, because they produce of their own kind, right? They become fruitful, right, and multiply and become a nation of that man's seed, right? These ones don't apply so well, so I'm not going to bother read those. Right? So what we've got here is the primary word of father, pater. Okay? That's what it's about, man. That's what all this is about. Fathers, man. Fathers. Because we possess the seed of life. We possess that. Right? Obviously, Most High gave us that seed. Right? But the woman doesn't create life. Okay, that's a fallacy. That's a myth. That's bugged out. That's what it is, right? But a woman has been elevated in this world to feel special. To feel important, and they do have an important role. I'm not trying to, we're not trying to take that away from them, but it's incorrect. What you believe is incorrect about it. Women don't want to be women these days, man. They want a power trip. I am the creators of the universe. Respect me. Bow down to me. Worship me. Right? They were power tripping, man, because Esau just fucking gassed them up. No, you women have a place, but it's just hey, let everything be done in order and in decency, man. You wouldn't bugging out, man. Think too highly of yourselves. All right? You need to come back down to earth. All right? So that's what I found while I was digging. I thought that was good information. But I went on Eat'em Online after that to check out this word lineage. And all we got here is line of descent and ancestor, right? But obviously going back to the fathers, right? From old French lignage, descent, extraction, race. Okay, that's where the races come from. The tribes and nations of the earth, right? That's what it really had. But then, like I said, lineage derives from the word line, right? This is cable, rope, series, row of letters, rule, direction, chord, string, lineage, descent, the line of descent. Let's see. Course, direction, ability. The mathematical sense of length without breadth, right? It can't. It's singular. It can't branch out, right? Goes for a single origin point. Sense of things or people arranged in a straight line. Now considered American English, where British English uses Q. Yeah, Brits and their Qs, right? Right, but I'm just I'm bringing that just to say, like, it's just a singular line in it, right? It has to go back through a common denominator, a common ancestry, right? And that can't work if you're adding in the lineage of the women that the men lay down with. It can't go back to one single origin point anymore, because now supposedly you're half this and half that. So now there's two. And then if it's it's like crazy. It's like, so now you're half this, half that. Your next child, someone, later some other woman. Now their children's a quarter this and quarter that. Now there's fucking 4 lines. There's 4 fucking lines now. It's crazy. There's it can't be a single origin point anymore. There's 4, right? You don't have no lineage. You have a quadrupleage or whatever the fuck you want to call that, But we all have a lineage. We all go back to a common ancestor, a common origin point, right? And it's not sullied by women. It's not confused by women. Okay, it's through the fathers. Okay, as we read about the pedigrees, how they let's go back and read it again. Numbers 1:18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, right? According to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls, right? That's how it was and is and always will be. Because women don't have seed. Okay, she doesn't hold the bag of seeds. She doesn't get to decide whether it becomes an apple, a pear, or peach. She doesn't get to decide that. She can merely grow what is given to her. Okay, and that's the man's seed. That's his lineage. Okay, and that should really be simple science, man. But in this world, in this current day and age, it's not taught like that. Because we take on features of both parents. It's like, oh yeah, it's half and half and all this and that. But it's only appearance. So an appearance, and this is why Israelites are scattered all over the world, right, looking different. But guess what? If they're Israelites, they descend from Jacob the same as we do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they look like or how they're talking. That's the the mystery to the Israelite Gentiles, man. Our seed's been scattered over in the 4 corners of the earth. I'm gonna end it there though. Lord, this has been edifying, and I made my point, Lord, clearly, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So till next time, I say shalom.